Has everybody looked at the bills?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on the bills?
Did you guys
Okay.
get anything good from specialties? New jacket?
No, this is all,
Oh.
I got an outdoor jacket and we got 2 other things for, it's freezing cold in the office.
Yeah, no, I was just being.
Would everybody,
Now we were all getting t-shirts.
No, if I had known that I would have.
would everybody, like to take a look at the minutes? And maybe vote to approve them? From, let's see,
June 16th.
I did have a question.
the minutes of June 16th.
Yeah, the question was right here, how, the correction on the liaison, for water and sewer. You said you were gonna take that, Joe?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you don't want,
Right.
She took the library, we switched.
Right, I took the library, yeah, you took sewer, and you have water, correct.
that's fine.
The previous minutes were incorrect, so this was a friendly amendment,
Okay,
but it didn't quite get it right.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right,
So I'm
Yeah.
I
sewer.
don't want to vote.
just the sewer. Right, yes, exactly. Yeah,
Clarifying.
yeah.
Okay.
Seeing we don't have any water, that was,
Mhm.
Easy one.
that was
Mhm.
mine. That's perfect for me. Okay. Dennis wanted it, but we wrestled for it and I won.
Moving to accept them.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Corrected.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'll second that, yes.
Okay, any other questions or discussion on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous.
Just want to remark, the minutes always look really well done and professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
does a
Gloria,
fabulous job.
yeah, thank you.
per usual.
Okay, Joyce, what's going on 360 Country Club Way? I thought Mr. Tonsberg Jr. was going to be here.
So did I, we notified him of the meeting. He's the one that contested it. We have issued a correction. I did not print one for everybody because it's a waste of paper. So you can see
Can pass it around.
on
Yeah.
a site visit to
Got a bunch of
the,
trash laying in the middle of the place.
Mhm.
on a property visit, it's separate visit. We were there for a completely unrelated matter. Myself, at the time building inspector, and the town administrator and Paul Armstrong as an inspector as well. We all went, when we were driving to where we were going to get, for the reason we were there, that was cited. He saw it. I saw the pictures we issued, he wanted to file, said file a complaint, shouldn't be there. It's an empty vacant lot, there's another picture on the reverse side as well. There is trash on the lot. Correction order was issued, Ms. Tonsberg Jr. came in, wanted to have a hearing saying he doesn't feel like he should have to pick up the trash, it's on his property. I explained to him it's a violation for the housing code because it's a attraction for nuisance and pests. We notified him of the date of the hearing. We informed him that it starts at 5. He came into the office, we told him that, and I believe you emailed him as well.
I did he did a public records, so I did
So-
that, I don't.
He's very well aware that the hearing was tonight, so I don't know what he wanted to argue, but, the trash has been there for quite a while. So I'm just bringing it forward because it was requested.
Okay, so what can we do about it?
Well, I mean, the next step is you go to court to tell them to pick up the trash.
Why couldn't the next step be for streets, trees and parks to go over and pick up the trash and the town send them a bill?
It's private property and the proper way
Okay.
is to take him to court. Should not be the pracs or the DPW's responsibility to go pick up
I'm
trash.
not saying it's their responsibility. I'm just saying,
Right, but then,
we've issued an order. He's not
Right.
complying.
well. My understanding is
under
the
the
proper
tarp?
course of action is to take it to
No,
court that he failed to comply with the terms of the,
Seems
What
pretty
is
covered.
there a fine, every day out of compliance?
Somebody just dumping.
Remember those 21D fines from the
Trash.
back one?
I can look it up, but I couldn't find anything in our current regulations that allow for that. So that's why a correction order was issued.
We should amend our regulations to include that. If you can legally.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's a housing code violation, so the statute is that you do what I did, and then it goes to housing court, and the judge tells him he needs to pick the trash up.
You know what's under the tarp? It just
No,
seems like
no,
the tarp
so-
is properly placed on there. Someone's
How
just
that,
dumping.
all of this works is we cannot enter onto private property. I can only take pictures from the, from public space. So and we cannot touch, like I can't go touching people's
It
property.
just doesn't look like somebody just dumped it there. It looks like somebody placed it there and properly
Mm.
covered.
Oh, no, it's just a pile of stuff. So. There and what,
That looks like it was thrown
there's
there.
nobody in the waiting room, he's not zooming in or anything, right? Okay, just checking.
Do you need a motion to proceed with court action?
No,
Okay,
but I brought it forward because he asked to
Yeah.
be heard.
Right.
So.
Okay, so you did your due diligence.
So,
Moving on.
I'm more than
Right, so
happy
moving
to
on. Yeah, moving
reissue,
on. Yeah.
call him and
Yeah.
say, I'm not sure if you missed the meeting, we'll have one on August 4th if you still want to be heard, otherwise we're gonna go forward with court.
Okay, yeah.
I would recommend that, we move to go forward in court and advise him that if it is corrected, we will withdraw the complaint from the courts. In other words, I don't wanna. Some people, I won't say Mr. Tonsberg specifically, although I have experience with him. Some people use the court system to delay. And I don't wanna build in any delays, so expedite it and advise him that it's moving forward in court. If he wishes to halt that, correct the problem.
Okay,
That kind of lets him know we're serious.
okay. All right, well, that's what we'll do.
I thought you told me this was the sun.
It is the
Mhm,
sun.
mhm, Junior.
Okay. So
That's
it's not-
why it
it's
says,
not-
what is it, like High Pines LLC is the name of the corporation. That's-
Bill's old information.
That is
I don't
what,
know.
the property card is listed as the owner.
You want to take a look at your information on this and make sure it's correct, Dennis?
But I,
Oh, sorry.
Dennis is.
I'm just passing it around to make sure everybody get the correct information. Heidi's had Bill's,
Bill's email and Bill's address.
Heidi's had Bill's email and Bill's address.
Oh.
So it's no big deal. It's fixed. Heidi fixed it.
we should know there.
I did some scribbles. I already fixed mine.
That's the site that,
What was
wasn't the
that?
site cited for 40Bs at one time? No, different
No,
site.
this is in Indian
Yeah, in the
Pond.
back.
Well, no, it's all very large houses in that area. I don't think that was cited for 40.
That vi-
There's nothing in the records that show that.
Mhm.
Variance request is all set.
Yeah.
And so your health agent's report, Joyce.
It's been steady with perks and septics and, repairs and that. We are seeing an uptick in the ADUs. I wouldn't say it's crazy, but it's been busy. It's definitely complete season. So just silly things. So, people complaining about trash or moldy desserts, so we've addressed all of those. All of our inspections are currently up to date for all properties, food establishments. We've had conversation with the police chief to try and streamline processes for the mobile food trucks, because if they're coming from another town and they're licensed, they should already have had their Cory story. And so if we ask them to, as part of their package, have to present a hawker peddler, in order to get that, they would already have to have had a Cory Story, because you can't get a hawker peddler without it. So that will cut down on, our need to do them again. It's kind of redundant. I should say Rory has completed 99.9% of all digitized records, like, comparing them to the street cards, so that we make sure that everything is in the folders, in the right folders. We do have a small percentage of stuff that just, what was the name of the weird road that we can't find?
Oh, there was, couple, Ika was supposed to be off Marion.
Anybody ever heard of Ika?
Assessors hasn't even heard of it, so.
Okay.
There is like a little thing on there, but there's like nothing I click on. To give me any information, and then the other one is Ryan's Way, which I think might be no good year circle now.
That would be true, because I've heard of Ryan's
But
way.
you can't match up.
So we need to, we're just doing some investigation because we have to match everything up. And if it's really old files, sometimes they're less than adequately labeled. So it's just basically trying to match up what information we have with GIS or assessors cards. to
So
see-
with the digitizing, what are the citizens able to get to?
No, when they can't,
Okay,
it's in a cloud. And so that is why we're requesting, when anybody wants anything, it goes through public records request. Because once we publish it, it is now accessible to anybody on the town website. When you go into that public records request, you punch it in. If it's already been published, it will pop up.
okay.
So that seems like the most efficient way to do it, is as things are needed, to be posting it to the records request. So that's how we're doing it going
I was
forward.
just curious, because I was thinking the other day, there should be somewhere where people, where the residents can
database?
go, a database, and see, like, when was the last time they had their septic pumped, if they can't remember.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is it may not be accurate, because yes, we are supposed to get pumping records, but if you call Joe Blow and Joe Blow doesn't send it to us, I have no way of knowing that you had it pumped. So, yes, we keep track of it. Yes, we have a spreadsheet, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is correct. It really is dependent on if the pumping company or the resident turns in the pumping slips.
I didn't even know the residents were responsible.
No, they are.
Oh, okay.
responsible
All
for
right.
it. It's the pumping company. But, like when people are selling their houses and they want to say, oh, give me the slips. You have a receipt for it. So if you have it, give it to me and I'll put it in the file. It's very few and far between. So that, and then I had a meeting with Representative Lenatra this previous week about a product called Kratom's, Kratom. It is a plant-derived substance that's being sold legally in smoke shops. However, it has now been banned in a number of communities in Massachusetts due to health concerns related to, apparently in lower doses, it has a amphetamine-like side effect on people. And on higher doses, it can mimic opioid-like effects. So obviously that's of concern. So I let Representative Lenatra know that I would bring this up in the meeting. She is more than happy to come and speak with the board to look at the possibility of perhaps saying, yes, we don't want this in our town, and putting it on the bylaws to say that that's not going to be a product that's allowed to be sold in town. My understanding is there's already been a number of deaths related to it, and that the incident rates of needing to go to a rehab, to get off of this stuff
To
is.
detox.
Yeah, so it's of concern.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's at the bare minimum, something we should look at and then the board can make a decision
I
how
would
they
like to
wanna.
see it put on our agenda for our next meeting,
Yeah, October, August 4th, and I will let,
August 4th, and let's let Kathy know.
I will, absolutely.
I think we should be jumping on this.
Yeah, okay, I have a procedural question. Can we as a board, make a regulation that prohibits, the sale of this product, in Kingston?
Can we? Of course, sure. we
Yeah,
could.
so I'm saying that's, until the state takes action.
They're not gonna apparently,
Well-
because she said that, apparently they have tried to get this legislation in Massachusetts, but as with most things in the state government, it moves
Mhm.
slower than frozen molasses. So
In that case-
11 towns have taken it upon themselves, and she's provided me with samples of what other towns have done to get this being.
Could you email those to us so
Yeah.
that we have them prior to the next meeting?
Absolutely. I'll get as much information together and make a packet, and I will email it out to.
Okay,
you.
that would be great. That'd be great. Like some, yeah.
You know the steps
Right.
to do that as well as anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, what we need to do is, schedule, if, first of all,
Public hearings.
whether we have the authority to do, and I believe we do, because if we perceive it as a health hazard, a health risk, the procedure would be to schedule, advertise and schedule a public hearing.
Yeah.
People to offer testimony on behalf of or against,
Mhm.
and then after due deliberation, choose, adopt a regulation or not.
Okay,
We may find that the public is totally fine with this and all the health experts say, nothing to worry about. Well, if that's the case, no more government than necessary, but I don't wanna have, be silent if we should be speaking up.
okay.
In addition to those steps, I think the first step is that the board education, like we have to understand this. We have to look at like peer reviewed articles and we need a good understanding, I think, before moving
Exactly.
forward.
So will you spell it
We
again
do.
so that
Yes,
you
so
can?
It's KRATOM is the name of the
Okay.
product.
What is it called?
KRATOM.
Okay.
Catrum?
Kraton.
Kratom, it's from Southeast Asia, it's a plant
Mhm.
that they buy and make a powder out of it, and,
What kind of plant?
I
We'll
don't know,
find out.
Kratom.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
you
Find
look
out,
at them.
right?
I never heard of it.
Obviously, there's opium.
Yeah,
You wanna start going into every naturally derived opioid out there, we can do this game.
Right, right. I think we just need to do our homework before the next
Yes.
meeting and come up to speed with
I
what
will
it is. With the,
give you
yeah.
what I have, but
Okay,
I would
yeah.
suggest that all of you,
Yes,
on your own,
Do
right.
your
Look
due
it up.
diligence.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I
Right.
wanted you to spell it so that.
Yeah, right.
yes.
Right, okay.
So anyways, I will let Representative Lenatra know that we will be meeting on August 4th. And invite her to be at that meeting.
Mhm. Oh, great. Okay.
All right, and that's pretty much all I have for the report at this point. Only other thing is, we didn't encumber anything. All bills are paid for the fiscal year. We made sure that everything was done before the 15th, so we didn't have to worry about any of that. I know that we are going to be looking at, I just got an email today that we're gonna be looking at FY 27 coming up soon, so if there's any, I don't know if this is a Joe and me meeting or it's a board meeting or whatever, but if there's any adjustments that you all think are gonna need to be made to payroll or in general, the budget, then we need to talk about it, yes.
Can we try and get the dummies for your BLS?
Yeah, I have some.
Oh, you have the dummies?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I didn't, yeah.
sorry.
We're good.
Okay.
We got them. That was like priority number.
I should call them mannequins, not dummies.
I like dummies better though. It's cute and funny and cuddly. Mannequin sounds scary and creepy. Anyway, so, just putting that in people's, and it's gonna be in the next, I know that we have a discussion at the managers meeting on Tuesday. So,
Mhm.
just please be aware of that, and if anybody has any feedback, I'm gonna need to know,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
sooner rather than
By
later.
Tuesday. Okay. next
No, that
Tuesday?
we'll have a discussion
Oh,
on
okay,
it on
okay,
this
okay.
coming Tuesday.
Okay.
Not, is it next, I think it might be next Tuesday that we have it's that just, they said we're gonna talk about it at the managers meeting. And I believe that the managers meeting is next week, not this week. But be that as it may, just please be thinking about it and let me know, yeah, it's next week is the department head meeting, so just be aware of that.
Did we get any of the tickets?
Yeah, I've got them upstairs. So that we can
Excellent.
hand them out, like, we don't wanna just leave them in the basket, cause everybody's well aware of what happens. Oh, I
Yeah,
need
yeah,
6
yeah,
for one
right,
household.
Right.
And so we've been handing them
Right.
out, if somebody requests them, we have them, we're gonna hand them out if, the agricultural fair. Yeah,
Mhm.
so, you know, if you know people who need them, you can send them to us, we're more than happy to.
And the residents are all welcome to pop down and
Yep.
get one.
Yep.
They're a great little kit. They have a magnifying glass, they have a tick identification card, they have
Tweezers.
alcohol
They've got the
swabs,
tweezers.
tweezers.
Oh,
It's like a whole like,
Little kit.
Tick kit.
It's got, like,
Oh,
it came
great.
through the grant.
Okay, yeah.
So the grant paid for it, and it has our little logo and all our information on it.
No,
Great.
great, great.
So-
So can we get unlimited, I mean, if we need more, can we order more? Or do
No.
you have just a set amount?
No, what I got to
What
put
I got, you have a-
in this,
Okay.
280
Okay.
several times.
Okay. All right,
They're not cheap.
sorry, all right. Okay. Do you have any information on the amount of tick bites that have been in the community or?
No,
Any of that?
that would be for the epidemiologist,
Right.
and I've got nothing, so.
I can tell you what I know from the hospital side.
Sure.
We are seeing a ton of babesiosa and anaplasmosis.
That's what I heard.
Huge, like hospital coming in septic, going
Yeah,
into
right.
septic shock type of,
Right,
that's why I asked the question.
yeah.
What?
So we'll just post it
So
that
that's
we
the
have.
thing,
yeah.
and anaplasmosis, they are tick-borne illnesses,
Oh, yeah.
very much like the Lyme's disease type of
Yeah.
illnesses, but they are,
Just one
it needs to take a huge hit.
Well,
that.
Should we post a like public service announcement
We
about
put
that?
that in when
We,
we know
we,
our tick board.
we,
Yeah,
stuff, we post
right.
stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now, I can tell you that, I get the DPH alerts,
Mhm.
West Nile and Tripoli
I
is
was gonna
quite
say.
low right now, we're not seeing a
That's
big,
still low, okay.
incident rates of it. The ticks is, you know, through the roof, but we post the,
Mhm.
how to be careful, how to look for, you know, on.
Maybe we should have Brett put out that we have the tick kits, if families are interested in in
I can
picking one
send
up.
Something, we're gonna post it too on
Okay,
our website.
If we post it on ours, maybe they'll share it to theirs and
Yeah.
reach that many more people too.
I'm worried because I literally have like 250, 260, I think.
Mhm.
And that's it, that's what I got.
Mhm,
So when those are gone, that's it.
Mhm.
And we have given some to the COA for the seniors. They got it.
Mhm.
I have a
Yeah.
patient in his 80s that I'm following right now with the BCO.
Mm,
I mean, and I can tell you,
Yeah.
when I'm telling you I see a high prevalence, I've got like probably 4 cases on a 20 patient caseload.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So tick checks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so, you know, this area shows up as a hotspot as far as ticks goes, you know, this whole greater Plymouth area,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So you said that the board, we can put out like a sandwich board?
We have a sandwich board.
Yeah.
No kidding.
The tick
Oh,
board.
no.
No, we have, like, we put out, the problem is it gets rained on and then
Oh,
it
yeah,
gets, knocked over,
The
so.
wind blows it over.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really hard with the thunderstorms to maintain
Yeah,
it.
yeah, so, we can put it out, but I make
Okay.
no
No
claims
promises.
on how
Yeah.
effective it is.
Some of this other stuff, I
Okay.
thought some of this stuff had been resolved.
Well,
Mhm.
no, because no vote was taken, because we didn't have, everybody wasn't here, if you
Right.
remember.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
So basically, Dennis, you weren't here and we had a discussion about the soil evaluation. That any system that comes across our desk that needs to be upgraded because it failed to Title V or for whatever reason, if it occurred before 1995, a perk test is gonna be required to ensure that the system is being located in an area that maintains public health,
Mhm.
basically.
So if it hasn't been done in 20 years, we have to do it.
More than that, think
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
it's 30 something,
It's 30 years,
yeah,
30 years.
30,
Yeah.
if it hasn't been done in. since
They've got to
1985.
rework it, and they can do it during the construction of the new system. In other words, if you had a lot that you had worked back way back when.
But that doesn't really make
Now
sense
you
because
can-
it,
This is the sale of property?
and you want
No, it's for
full
new systems.
construction.
Newer
New building.
repairs.
okay.
While you're doing it, they can rework it. just to
But
make
Joe,
sure that the conditions are the same, that type of thing.
Joe, I think you gotta rethink that one.
Because-
If they're looking at moving it, because most people don't
I
wanna,
wasn't talking about moving it, I'm only thinking if they wanna put it in the same, use the same that they had from before for this.
they're gonna have to remove all the night soil.
Yes, but if it's,
Why wouldn't you perk to see if they can?
I'm
use
saying
the
to go
reserve?
ahead and do it, yes, I think you should do it.
No, but not at the day of construction, because what if it's, now you got all the equipment out there? And how is the engineer supposed to design?
Well, let's
the
look at it
system?
this way, in my world, I would want to be able to proceed, assuming that the conditions were in fact the same. In other words, if I know that I'm in the same area that was pre-approved before, and I'm there, and I'm gonna start, I'm not gonna go there for a specific thing, leave and then come back again second time.
But we're
Mobilization's
talking about
expensive.
if a system has to be repaired, that means they have to re-engineer it. It's not like you're. Generally,
the
you're
whole
talking about
purpose-
cesspools, not, if it's 30 years old or more. You could be talking about pits, cesspools. Field infiltrators, well, infiltrators won't be from 30 years ago, but field systems, they're gonna have to remove. And replace all that, so you're gonna remove the soil to do what, to do what with it?
When
What?
when those systems were designed and approved back when, they called for and had a reserve area on the plan
Yes, I
that
know.
had been pre-approved and perked for that purpose. All I'm saying is if you're using that same thing, yes, take another look to make sure nothing's drastically changed. But why have to do two mobilizations with equipment for that purpose? I'm saying, fine, go ahead, re-perk it. Open up the test hole again
What happens?
as
like,
part of the
What
construction of
happens
the
in some
system.
of these situations where like, down in your neighborhood behind you guys, I've done,
Line and lane.
yeah, it's in a swamp and they put systems in, they're probably 30 years ago, things were different. They would never pass now. So you're telling me you want to yank all your stuff out there to do a perk to now know that it's not gonna work and that you have to come up with a
No.
whole nother system.
No, I'm telling you that if I'm permitting the repair of a system based upon opening up the pre-approved reserve area, even though it was old. They'll dig you another test hole while we're there
I
to
get
show that it's fine. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well.
I don't wanna have to
honestly,
do
care.
it
It's not my
twice.
money when somebody yanks all their equipment.
No,
out.
it's the residents.
No,
money.
I know that, and to me,
I'm
it
just
would,
looking at their pocketbook. I mean, that would be a couple of $1,000 ordeal for the perk test for you to go and witness it, the whole 9 yards. And it turns out that it was pre-approved anyway, so why not continue, carry on and build the septic system while you're there?
I mean, I don't care, I just,
Well,
I don't wanna get yelled at when somebody can't. Put
All I'm
it,
saying is-
and the other thing is designing it, I wanna know how. An engineer is gonna know where to put a new system, because one's failed, or you're yanking out cesspool.
If he's
like-
opening up a pre-approved reserve area, then he knows exactly where to put it. Because it was already approved for that purpose.
Okay, well, but.
Now, if on the other hand-
It's unapproved, so.
If
there's
on the
no
other
reserve
hand,
area.
somebody put a pool in what used to be the reserve area, now that's a different scenario. Now you gotta go find a new area, get it approved, and the rest of it. Everything's, there's different conditions out there on different lots. Usually when we open up a reserve area for that purpose or and affect that reserve area for that purpose, we'll go to the health department and have to get a permit in order to be able to do that.
No, I understand all that. My point is that it's the systems I'm most concerned with are probably systems that shouldn't have been put in the first place. They're in high water tables.
Mhm.
So I don't care that they have a reserve,
Mm.
that reserve isn't gonna be any good either, like
Mhm.
Lyden Lane is a perfect example.
Mhm.
I have a floating tank,
Yeah, but what?
a tank that was so much water, they had to have a buoyancy tank because the water table's high. So
Joe,
Did
this
the
is a-
tank-
so like when we dug the pool at our house. We hit water,
Sure,
same idea,
yeah.
you know, it's just floating. But you can't put a septic in.
you can't put a septic in there,
Would
You can
work
put a
very well.
pool.
pool's fine, septic, not so much.
Exactly.
All right, I could care less. I'm just trying to avoid extra costs, and I want to make this as simple and cost effective as possible for residents. That's my only concern.
Me too.
As long as, so that's the way you want to do it, that's fine.
No,
But
there's
I
a
think
whole
they have
board
to-
here. I'm just giving you the parameters of the construction process
I'll-
and the
I'll
costs involved.
about the cost involved, but my guess is the person that's doing it's still gonna charge that extra $1,000 for the 2 hours it's gonna take them to Perkins, so I
Oh,
don't see
yeah, I
how
know
it's any
you.
different.
I know, yeah.
So it's gonna be a wash.
Not,
Boy,
no,
you guys
it's
are, it's not my
Well, I would-
decision.
I would say the sooner the homeowner or developer knows the
Mhm.
facts, the better as far as all their costs are, right? So we want to, I'm confused with, it seems to me like you're talking about two separate things.
No, so
No,
you get a
right,
perk,
right, Right,
you call somebody, they come out and dig a hole, they charge you $1,000, $1,500 to do it.
yes,
Joe's saying,
Right.
if you hire that person that's gonna come out and
Uh-huh.
fix your system.
Right.
They're just gonna come out and be there, and they're gonna have an engineer on site, which they still have to have an engineer
Uh-huh.
on site to do the perk test, because the
Right.
installer's not qualified to do it. So now you still have to have an engineer come out.
Uh-huh.
So Joe's saying,
soil
well,
evaluator, but okay.
who are you gonna hire to be a soil evaluator?
There's some soil evators around that are
Right.
not engineers.
Right, I understand that, but they're few and far between. You still have to have somebody out there. So
Uh-huh,
Joe's
right.
saying it'll be cheaper or more cost effective if you do it during the time of installation of the new system.
Mhm. Right, okay.
So,
So this is the way I look at it. Just so you can hear how I'm hearing
Okay,
them.
yeah.
Joe's saying, we already know the design of the septic. Joyce is saying, in some instances, you aren't gonna know the design of the septic because you need the perk before they can
Correct,
design the
that's
septic.
what I'm hearing, you need that step before you design.
So it is somewhat apples and oranges.
Yeah, right,
Joe's
Yeah.
saying,
I know, I
like,
get,
you know what I,
if it's a, high
Then why are
ground,
we-
it's not gonna be a problem.
Uh-huh.
Great, I could care less how we
Sounds like
do
it's
it,
case
I
by
just
case.
wanna
Take
make
for
sure that
example-
as long as
it's
it's done.
Take, for example, my
Yeah,
septic
yeah.
system at my home.
Yeah.
It's a trench system.
Mhm.
The reserve area is between the trenches. Now, I'm not gonna go in and dig a perk test hole when all I really need to do is to clean out between the trenches and construct the new trenches. That's the way the system was designed, not only for
When was
that
it
initial
designed?
installation. God, I put it in, I believe in 30 years ago.
94. 94.
Nothing's changed. There's still a lawn over it. The trenches are still there.
Mhm.
Nothing has changed.
I think what Joyce is trying to say is that in an instance, in some other areas
Right.
where the water table has shifted,
Right,
And it has.
that but no engineer is gonna put a stamp on a system without having a perk. So it's kind of like I feel like if you have a whole new system going in, Joe, because the system has failed, you need.
Yeah,
a
we're not
perk
talking
anyways.
about like you need to upgrade it because you wanna add more capacity. We're talking about, and it's gonna be during generally Title V in the system isn't gonna pass because it doesn't meet criteria of Title V. That's generally the only time we're seeing them. Few and far between is your system goes into failure and you gotta fix it.
Mhm.
That's,
Not that I don't love free floating discussions, but is there going to be a motion involved in this?
Well, when we understand what the motion actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right?
think we
I
need
think
to
that's what
come
we're
to a
talking about.
conclusion.
Well, I guess
Right.
what the motion would have to be would be, you want to have a new perk test done on any system design that's based on a perk test that was conducted pre-1995. That would be the motion.
Is this for total systems? Is this for repairs? Is this?
Any system, any system,
Any new
Any
system?
system.
any system
Prior
Yeah,
going to be
You can write
designed and or
no,
permitted
but fine.
Right.
based upon a perk test that was conducted pre-1995 will require a current perk test.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
That's what the
Yeah.
motion would have to be.
Well, why not
Second
make it,
for
why not
discussion.
make it very simple?
That's
Perk tests
That is
prior
a
to
simple-
1995 shall not be accepted for construction.
that's a
Period.
reverse way of saying it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
different way of saying it.
It gets rid of all that other verbiage.
However you wanna,
Perk test prior to 1995 shall not be valid. Okay, perk test prior to 1995 shall not be valid for construction. So moved.
or repair.
Or if
Or
you gotta,
repair.
yeah, you have to put both in, construction.
There you go. If
Needs a
that's what you
second.
wanna do,
Second.
then there you go. Okay.
Who seconded?
Cheryl,
No,
You care to beat the dead horse anymore?
no,
No.
all in favor?
Aye.
Who's in favor? Everybody? All
No.
four,
Aye.
okay. Okay, the next one is garbage grinders.
yeah, I think we had that discussion and you all felt like there's really nothing we can do other than if, when I get the title, because I'll get Title Fives that say the system is not designed for a garbage grinder, but yet there'll be a garbage grinder.
Mhm.
So, I believe that Dennis had said, we'll send you were supposed to write a public service announcement, I guess.
Remember that?
Yes, you were gonna write something that we could send to residents to say that your system does not support a grinder and you need to remove it.
Educating the public that
You were gonna write something up, Dennis.
the garbage.
Yes, I was
disposal
gonna do a
source-
PSA and I just realized that, I was looking at the minutes. If we could revisit that motion that was just made, so we don't, run into the problem again. Perk test, I would rather amend it to perk test should be valid for 30 years only. That's very, very simple.
And so what Joyce was pointing
Well,
out.
after 1995, Title V took hold
So it's fine,
and the
Right.
conditions.
but
are
you might
different.
change.
It's pre-1995.
Okay,
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
get it,
Yeah.
we're done.
don't make it more confusing than it.
Okay.
No, no,
back
no,
to the
I-
Garbage grinder, so you're gonna rewrite that, write the,
PSA on garbage grinders, I will do that.
Please, I'd like it for the August 4th meeting.
Yes,
Can you do that?
I will do that.
Thank you.
Or I will
You know
face,
she's gonna remind you.
or I'll face public humiliation.
Okay, now what do you wanna talk about? Two compartment tanks? What's the matter?
Oh, so
You think they're only pumping one of the
yes, I was in
compartments? Is that what's
discussions
going on?
with a couple of pumping guys and they're like, oh yeah, people will tell us, oh, only pump one side of it. I'm like,
I don't know why.
that is insane. That is insane because they don't want to pay for everything. I think it should be mandatory so that this does not come up and we just tell pumpers, if you have a 2-compartment tank, both sides of the tank need to be pumped out. This seems like kind of common sense to me, but apparently it is not. So just put it out there, people.
Well, usually the main compartment is it's a 2,500 gallon tank, and usually you got 1,500 gallon tanks on one side and 1,000 on the other. The primary effluent in the 1,000 gallon portion of the tank is liquid. If it's working correctly, solids don't get in compartment number 2.
Right.
However, they're not gonna charge them any less money, even though they're only basically pumping wastewater out of compartment number 2. So one way they're gonna get a bill for pumping 1,500 gallons, the other way they're gonna get a bill for pumping 2,500 gallons. But I tend to agree. I mean, if I'm having mine and the guy's right there, I just assume get the whole
Take it
thing
off.
done at once. And I have that exact tank configuration at my home.
Especially in the, this is the other issue, especially with ADUs coming in, and that's moving to 2-compartment tanks
Mhm.
and tanks in series. I think it needs to be spelled out what the expectation is when we pump our tanks.
Mhm.
But again, this is the board's decision.
Well, that would just
Bring
be,
it to your attention.
you'd be simply notifying your pumpers, your registered pumpers of the requirement and be leaving it at that. It's not like you're gonna,
Right, but if you guys say that and it's now a bylaw or a regulation,
I got a feeling,
then I
Dennis is
also
gonna say
post
that.
it on.
What do you
the-
think, Dennis?
Uh-huh.
Pump the whole damn tank or just
Yeah,
half?
the whole thing.
There you go. That's what I'm thinking.
One-stop service, you don't.
I mean, it just seems like
I
a
will
no-brainer
I will
to me.
make a motion
Thank you.
that all compartment tanks, all,
Thank you.
will underline the all, be pumped out at time of
Service.
service.
Second.
Oh,
Thank
the
you.
girls beat you, Dennis. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay.
I-
And now reviewing permit applications.
So we have been, just a heads up, we have been going through all of the applications because hopefully we will be going to an online first process in the near future. So we are trying to streamline and organize as best we can to make that process simple for anybody who actually has to use it. So as we look at them, like we had camps, motels,
What else, trailer park?
trailer park, like it's all one thing, which makes absolutely no sense. Camps should be here, motels should be here, and perhaps trailer park should be their own thing. So we're looking at other towns for samples of how they're doing it, to sort of streamline it, to make it easier for everybody involved. So as we finalize new applications, we will present them to you guys at the meetings, just for you to look over, and if there's any issues that anybody wants to bring up before we're trying to get a jump on it, because my understanding is that probably within the next 6 months or so, hopefully we should be going to this new system, open
Great.
gov.
Great.
Keep your fingers crossed, but that's it. So that's all I had to tell you.
Okay. Can I ask a question about the hotel?
Oh, do ask.
I noticed
Do
that
I
the
know
new,
what's going on? No, I do not.
that was my question. I saw the new sign being put up that it's now a hotel again.
Well,
Do we
it
inspect
is
that?
not technically
Okay.
yet a new hotel.
Okay.
There is a process, apparent, this is my understanding, that they will need to go in front of the powers that be to get reestablished. I do know that internal renovations, meaning they're putting up new carpet and they're painting the walls. In fact, myself and Paul Armstrong have a walkthrough tomorrow, because we are having complaints because of rat issues. So, people don't seem, the general public doesn't seem to grasp that, because there are no longer 480 people there with
food
garbage in the
Yeah.
trash in the dumpster, there is no food source. So now the rats that were previously
Uh-huh.
quite happily living
Have
in the
moved
big
out.
one,
Yeah.
dumpsters
Yeah.
are migrating to other areas. So I've had conversations with some neighbors that abut it, and they were super, they get the concept. Everybody's taking their bird feeders in, they're doing all the right
Right.
things. Some people actually already have pest control, so they're just amping it up. We did receive a call from, I think it's Pilgrim Pest in Plymouth. Because they service Cancun, and thought that the town should pick up the bill for the added. And so I spoke to him, Keith spoke to him, and that didn't happen. I have been down there, the dumpsters are empty. There is no refuse floating around that would attract vermin. So the hotel is doing what they are supposed to be doing. But as a matter of what's going to happen with that, I cannot say, I do not know. It's not within my scope. So I am just
It's
dealing with,
no longer occupied. They're.
no, there is supposedly nobody living in it.
I just had a few.
You
people
have a
ask.
degree in advanced fortune telling?
No. I do not. So that's all I got.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn at the
Next meeting, August,
four.
Four.
August 4th.
Motion to adjourn by Dennis, seconded by Heidi. All in favor?
Leave.
Aye.
Aye.